Okay, hi. So welcome to part two or part three of today's lesson. Let's take a look at this question for view from the bridge. Right? I think take a second to wonder. Sorry, to think. Is this a character, relationship, or concept type of question? First of all, if you notice, you have Eddie is a rat. This seems to be a character type question. Second of all, you notice that agree with Catherine that Eddie is a rat. So that's her opinion of him. That seems to be like a relationship type of question. Last but not least, you have a rat. He belongs in the sewer. That seems like a concept type of question. So which is it? Well, let's dive deep into today's lesson and try and figure it out. So first of all, check out the video that I've provided for you. See the first one or the one on top, and let's see what happens. And check out what happens to this very lovely romantic couple that's just driving down the road. You see some people hiding behind the bushes. So what do you think is going to happen? All right. From this scene, who is the good guy and who's the bad guy? Think about it. All right, Bonnie and Clyde, very famous couple in America. So after you have watched this, now watch the second one. And then in this scene, right, ignore the title. Try and figure out who do you think is the good and who do you think is the bad guy. Are these cops corrupt? Why don't you watch and find out? After watching both of these scenes, who do you think is good and who do you think is bad? And why? I'm not going to reveal the answer to you, but the point of this exercise is just to show you that context matters. If you just watch the first one without seeing anything else, you wouldn't know, or you only have a certain impression. So there's something you have to bear in mind when we look at Eddie in this play, because some of the things he does, he keeps to himself or he keeps to Alfuri. He doesn't show everything to Catherine. So Catherine only knows a limited amount, and with this limited amount of knowledge, she treats Eddie as a rat. And let's see whether we agree or disagree with that. But coming back to my original question, is this a relationship, character, or concept question? Well, I'm going to discuss the possible answers with you and the strategies involved, and then I want you at the end to decide which strategy and which question type is the most viable. Okay, first of all, let's take a look at this. All right, this is the quote where it came from. It's Act 2, near the part where Rudolfo gets arrested and Marco, yes, and Marco is about to come. Okay, yeah, after Marco gets his bail. All right, so Catherine is scolding Eddie and actually telling Beatrice to stop thinking about her husband's opinion. And Catherine is saying as someone who bites people when he sleeps, whereas Beatrice says, "No, Eddie. No, Eddie, then we all belong in the garbage, you and me too. Whatever happened, we all done it, and don't you ever forget it." Right? Kind of saying that it's important for everyone to remain united and together, even though they disagree. Okay, so coming back to this question. Now, first of all, I could look at this as a question of whether do rats belong in the sewer, right? But I think I'll very quickly come to a dead end over here because if I take this as a concept question and treat it literally, if it's a concept question, I have to interpret and rephrase it in my own words. If I take it literally as whether do rats belong in the sewer or do they belong in hotels or nice cages, that's not treating it as a concept question. That's treating it very literally as a character. So I would immediately fail for that. But if I was to discuss, um, hmm, hold on, whether Eddie is a rat, whether um, Eddie did these things uh, for his own gain, or whether it's actually to help Catherine, I would succeed a lot better in this case. And okay, so that's one strategy. And again, think about whether it's character, relationship, or concept. On the other hand, I could also think about how has Eddie been treating Catherine all this while, from the very beginning where he kind of didn't want her, but eventually let her get a job to where he was concerned about her dress, maybe about her coming home late, stuff like that. I could uh, use this to also answer this question about whether he truly deserves to be called a rat. So perhaps it's not so much about whether he belongs in the sewer, but whether or not he is a rat in the first place that we can address. So let if I was so far I seem to be leaning towards Eddie and Catherine, right? How he has been treating her. Could I answer this as Eddie um as a character question alone? If I said Eddie is kind because he helped Rodolfo and Marco, that's why he is not a rat. Hmm. If you bear in mind that rat in this case, and you're expected to understand this, actually refers to him betraying Rodolfo and Marco, would that really hold? Would saying that he has helped them nullify or uh, block or even what I call it resolve resolve the idea that uh, he betrayed them? No, it would not. If I was to say that Eddie is help Beatrice remove her fear that her cousins wouldn't like the house at the beginning, would that necessarily counter the fact that he is a rat? Sorry. No, it would not. So if you think about it, Eddie as a correct treating this as a character type question where you discuss anything other than how he has treated Catherine would not help this question at all. If you treated this as a concept question whereby you discuss what a rat is, you find that you can't go very far because sorry for my voice, coughing very badly. Um, the idea that you are expected to know that a rat refers to um the fact that he sorry the fact that he betrayed Marco and Rodolfo and nothing else. So there's no room for interpretation here. Likewise for sewer, maybe you can say sewer is like um hell, deserves to be despised and all that, but again, not much room for interpretation as compared to if you were to say what is honor, justice, law, what does that mean to you? Instead, I hope you have realized by now that this leaves you only with Catherine and Eddie as a relationship type question. Something to bear in mind though, it's not always this way. In this case, it's Catherine calling Eddie a rat or how she treats him, right? Uh, which will require you to describe their relationship. But if this book was say maybe Alfuri, do you agree that Alfuri um, says we are better with half truth? Right then, uh, you have to be careful about whether this. You have to be careful to know that it would not be a relationship type question. So just because there's a quotation here does not automatically mean relationship, character, or concept. Right? It's very much dependent on the quote itself, or maybe who you can link it to. Because if Alfuri is talking about saying we are better with half truths, the we in this case, the whole book and the reader, there's no clear one-to-one relationship going on. So you cannot say it's a relationship. There's no character behind this as well. Rather, you would have to treat it as a concept type question. All right. Um, I'm going to type some scenes you can refer to here. Please check out the slides for the information. Thank you.